Back again with our next guest. I can think of, quite honestly, no other better guest than brings us oysters to Long Island Talks. A little about that in a second. Russ, welcome. You're a local boy, I hear.
Yeah, grew up right down the road. Grew up going to Oyster Fest, loved Oyster Fest, and I'm super excited to be a part of it.
Is this truly as unique as Bruce and Joe were talking about? They said this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in the nation. Certainly New York. There's only certain places you can have Oyster Fests.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, Oyster Bay. Where else are you going to have an Oyster Fest like this? I believe it's the biggest in the Eastern Seaboard. I believe reading that. But I'm not 100% sure on that. You may have to fact check me, but it's a huge festival, 200,000 people.
200,000 people. It's wonderful. The day, I don't have to tell you, the weather is absolutely spectacularly perfect. This is Saturday. Tomorrow, we're also going to go from 11 to 6. You'll see this podcast by that time. Come on down. You can't beat it. We happen to be sitting in the picnic area of the Oyster Bay Brewing, and that's a wonderful thing. We have the water here. I asked Heather if she had stories on the water. Maybe you do. You grew up in and around here?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, growing up, this was the beach we came to.
Yeah.
You know, you came here swimming here, you grabbed a Bonanza hot dog, come down, then grew up boating, having Cooper Bluff right on the water at Oyster Bay Marine Center, which was my chance to showcase the local waterfront, be the first waterfront bar and restaurant in Oyster Bay. So, I mean, the water is the best. My memories of just being on the boat, tying up with friends. I'm still out here with my family a couple days in the summer on my father-in-law's boat, not mine. Better know somebody with a boat than own one. And I think the harbor of Oyster Bay, you have to go all the way up to Maine to find a harbor like this. It's the best waterfront there is.
Great to know. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. You run a couple of restaurants in town. Let's hear about those. And that must be a lot of work. I really appreciate you actually getting the time away from those restaurants to sit with us.
Yeah, especially this weekend. It's a lot of work.
Exactly.
I left the house at 3 a.m. to get them set up because then I have the oyster tent where we have to sell 80,000 oysters this weekend too. But
wait. That's a good number.
Yeah.
80,000 oysters will be sold this weekend.
Yep, 80,000 at that tent.
Let's talk about that. Let's get inside this a little bit. What do you have to do to make sure that you get the 80,000 oysters? Because that's not something you would stock normally, right?
Oh, no. Actually, last year was my first year having the oyster tent, and in years past, they had outsourced the oysters and got them from Connecticut or New Jersey. Last year was the first year. We partnered with the Long Island Growers Association. The president, Eric Coppell, he helped us to source from 10 to 13. Last year was 14 different farms. This year it's 10 farms. Oysters all over Long Island, showcasing the best of Long Island, our local waters. We got the delivery yesterday. Big trucks coming in, pallets of oysters. Gotcha. My arms are sore from trucking them all into our refrigerated truck. But it's, if I could just picture a visual of a box truck, head to toe to the ceiling with oysters.
Incredible. We're going to sample some of those in a second. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the, or at least one of the restaurants you run and what it means to you. What are you bringing to the community?
So Cooper Bluff, which I mentioned, was the first waterfront bar in Oyster Bay. So that meant a lot because that was my chance to show that the waterfront Oyster Bay is that beautiful and that there should be more down here. And I think I succeed in doing that, and people really do love it. The Meeting House is a great family place. We were able to adapt through COVID with the drive-through drinks. We have the igloos in the back, which saved us through COVID and still continue to be profitable this day. And really a family-friendly, unique place that we're really proud of.
Very cool. I wish you the best on the restaurant. I know it's very, very hard work. Let's get to the meat of the matter.
Yeah.
We have an oyster. Now, this is about, just so you know, this is about the size I like. You'll see some people will have an aversion to oysters because they seem just overwhelming. So, okay, start with this one, work your way up to this. Tell me about this particular oyster, this breed, this kind.
So this one looking at it looks like it's a Peconic Gold. So really what you can get is this nice briny flavor in the front, and at the end it's a sweet finish. What you get from Long Island oysters, to me, Long Island has the best water in the world for oysters. Maria Antoinette, little trivia fact, actually made it that way. The only oysters she would take in that country were from Long Island. And that's from hundreds of years ago. I'm not a history buff, but a long time ago. And that's how
a great bite of information.
And that's how a bite, literally, and we're about to have a bite of that delicious information to experience.
So when we talk about waterfront communities, cities, New Orleans is where I've had a lot of oysters. But those waters are so much warmer. Does that matter? Is it the salt content? Is it something we really don't understand yet? What makes an oyster a better oyster? You mentioned sweet finish, and that might be unique to Long Island. Is that the case?
I think that there are sweet oysters, but I think that real briny up front with the sweet finish is what makes it unique. Like West Coast oysters will be sweet without the brine. Other areas of the East Coast will be briny without the sweet. To me, this is one of the real areas where you get the sweet and the brine all in one thing.
Wonderful. So, my own preference is definitely the lemon. You know, some people say, hey, you don't need anything if it's a good oyster, and that's true, probably. But why not make a good oyster even better?
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Listen,
Nothing too crazy.
With everything, I think it's what you like. There's
Okay.
no bad bottle of wine. There's no bad oyster. It's what you like, and that's what you should like.
Right.
You know.
Good way. So,
Cheers.
here's to the Fest 2025.
That's my 40th oyster of the day.
Oh
They
my
keep getting
God.
better.
That is just honestly wonderful. That's a perfect oyster.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, Long Island oysters are the best.
Wow. Thank you, Russ. Gonna have a lot more of these today. I really appreciate you spending time with us. I know you got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna stop by your booth and get more oysters.
Come by. I gotta go chuck some right now.
Okay.
right.
See you Sunday, guys.